Hello, Juan here. Today we are going to talk about how to build a vision for your business, and actually, do you even need a vision in your business? So building a vision in your business is not just a branding exercise to have a new fancy phrase that you can use as a catch-up for your users. This is also something that it will help you aligning your strategy, your values, and also explain your team what they are working with or what are you trying to achieve as a company, as well as your customers, where they can understand what are you trying to sell them, but also how are you trying to make their lives easier. What is the solution that you're bringing to them as a customer? We will also take a look into the visions for some of these companies like YouTube and Facebook, Google, to see how they define their vision. And just remember, if these big guys are in there has to be something of value. So before we go into defining our vision, we have to understand certain things like what is the actual value proposition that we are bringing to your users. We basically have to define what is the value proposition of our product or our business to our customers, so they understand what we are trying to achieve and why are we doing it. So it's very easy to go into defining your solution as what it does, but not why it does it. Imagine that your product is a food truck that goes around the city selling food to people. So obviously you're doing this because somebody is hungry and they have a need to eat something. Then this is why you're doing it. What you're doing is, well, you're delivering food closer to where they are. Then you are bringing different types of food that they might like in the areas where you're serving. So remember that explaining why to your users is going to be much more engaging and valuable for them to understand. Because if you only explain what, then they have to understand why they would need you. So try to make it easier for them to understand why do they need you. And I would like to link here a video from Simon Sinek. He has a very good explanation on how do businesses many times mix their message by talking about what they do, but not why they do it. So the link will be somewhere here, and please go and click if you want to take a look into how to find this why that is more inspirational, that can help you and your company delivering the proper message to your users. And before we move forward, let's go now and take a look into how some of these big companies are defining their vision. So now, for example, we have Tesla. Tesla talks about Tesla's mission is to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. So clearly they are saying there that they want to have a good impact on the environment. And this resonates very well with the vision that many people are having, that we should have less impact on our environment. And of course they are doing this through all means of electricity. So using or creating electrical vehicles or creating the solar roof panels. And all this, all their focus is on creating or using electricity as the source of energy. If we look now into Google's mission is, they define their mission as, our mission is to organize the world's information to make it universally accessible and useful. I love this one because it's actually is highlighting the kind of strategical points from the point of view of Tesla. It's like they're talking about organizing data or accessing information, all the world's information, making it universally accessible. So and also showing what is relevant with useful. So obviously Google is just, as you know, just the search engine that you want to use probably, or you typically use even if you don't even know about it. But many people, you talk about that, I'm going to Google, I don't know, Tesla, or I'm going to Google how to make, I don't know, some recipe that I want to cook tonight. The fact that people are using Google as a verb that is probably the best branding exercise that you could ever have had. Before taking a look to the next one, is that you have noticed that I have used mission and vision kind of almost as the same word. They're not exactly the same. In some cases, vision is more used for a short phrase, and vision is used for a short one, a short phrase that it defines what I'm trying to achieve, and the mission might include a little more extra information on how I want to achieve this. But I'm not going to make any difference at this point, and just kind of will use them a little exchanging those two, so please bear with me. And now we will go to and take a look to the Facebook one. So Facebook talks that Facebook was founded in 2004. Facebook mission is to give people the power to build community and bring the world closer together. People use Facebook to stay connected with friends and family, to discover what's going on in the world, and to share and express what matters to them. So basically, this is describing exactly what a social media platform should be. It's the place where you want to go and talk with the people that or express your feelings to, or what you're doing, to everybody else. Keep in contact with your friends, close family, but also the ones that are far away, and being able to share all your experiences with the world, basically. And now, finally, let's talk YouTube. Well, here we are. So YouTube is talking that our mission is to give everybody a voice and show them the world. And we're actually going to continue with this one. So I'm not going to talk about it at this point anymore, but let's try to continue now talking about how YouTube builds their mission or their vision from the scratch, and actually trying to tie it to their values and their strategy. How do you actually get to that nice tagline of the vision like we have seen in the examples from YouTube or Google? So actually the vision is built bottom up. The vision first is going to be built. We are going to start first looking into what are the values for your company. Why is it working with values important? Well, values is the way that and culture is the way that your company and your team works together. Typically, the way that you work together is going to reflect directly in the way that you work with your users. So this is going to have a very big impact on how the users are perceiving your solutions, or what services you are giving them. What are the things that you, as a company, value the most? Is it transparency? Is it honesty? Is it teamwork? Is it great customer service? What are the things that you think that make your team motivated to work and actually get to that extra mile where they actually know this is not just a job, but this is something that I actually enjoy and like doing? Let's take a look into YouTube's values, or how they describe them. Let's go through those ones. So first they had the first one they talk about is freedom of expression. They say that we believe people should be able to speak freely, share opinions, foster open dialogue, and that creative freedom leads to new voices, formats, and possibilities. So basically they're talking that freedom of expression is something that they value and that they want to promote. And again, as I was saying earlier, this is something that probably is a value that they internally promote as a company, where you are able to express and talk about what are the things that you value, and that also they promote creativity as a channel to develop further. Let's go to the next one. Then they talk about freedom of information, and they say that we believe everyone should have easy, open access to information, and that video is a powerful force for education, building understanding, and documenting world events, big and small. So here they're talking that basically they believe that information and openness is key. So being able to deliver all the knowledge that you have to others, and of course the mean that they prefer is video, which is obvious. And they also talk. They are also working more and more into streaming and other types of media. So we will tag this one as information. Let's move to the next one, which is the freedom of opportunity. And they say that we believe everyone should have a chance to be discovered, build a business, and succeed on their own terms, and that people, not gatekeepers, decide what's popular. So basically here they're talking that they want to bring everybody that is having a YouTube channel an opportunity to grow and to express themselves and to be able to build even a business around it. And YouTube is not the one that is deciding what is successful or not. So people, the user, you, are the one that actually decides what content is important and what content should be promoted in the platform. And the last value that they talk about is the freedom to belong. They say that we believe everyone should be able to find communities of support, break down barriers, transcend borders, and come together around shared interests and passions. So in many ways, they're talking here about how they are defining communities and how they grow together, how they are sharing information, how they grow, and how do you find also people that has the same interest as you have. So we will call this as belong. So now we have reviewed all the values from YouTube. How do they define their culture, and what are the things that they value in their, how they work together, how do they communicate, and how they service and provide you services as a user. So how their solution is actually promoting you and helping you achieve your goals. So what's the next layer that we want to be able to define properly before we actually define the vision? And of course, in most cases, you somehow will have this defined already. So the next one is the strategy. So what are the key cornerstones that you actually want to take care into account to make sure that you are going the direction where you are going to be able to achieve your vision? So obviously, your strategy is going to have certain things that it will actually help you get closer to your vision. So, for example, think about Tesla. Tesla, well, they not just, but they produce electric vehicles. So part of their strategy is to produce electric engines. So whenever they are going to build a new car, they are not going to even consider the possibility of building a diesel car, even if the market potential is huge. That's not their core, that's not their vision, that's not what they are trying to solve. And this is again why vision and why your strategy and sticking to it is very important, because it will give you focus. If you try to go for everything, it's always very easy to dilute your efforts and not being able to provide good solutions for each one of those areas. Now we will go back to YouTube and see how YouTube is looking from their website and what they are talking about when it comes to strategic goals. So they say that we believe that everyone deserves to have a voice and that the world is a better place when we listen, share, and build community through our stories. So here you can see that YouTube is talking about certain different aspects or strategic aspects for them to be able to deliver this vision that they want to achieve. So first of all, they talk about scalability when they say that everybody deserves to have a voice, that the world is a better place. So basically they want to make sure that whoever is talking here in this platform of YouTube are able to reach out to everybody. It's true that maybe it's not so easy to hit the algorithm, that's a different story. But basically they're talking about having the possibility of having a highly scalable model that is available. Their services are available everywhere to everybody, as easier to use as possible. The next key strategy point that they're probably implying here, they are not saying it directly, is that basically they want to support a video or something similar to video as the main strategic point or approach for them to support in the website. So So nowadays they also support things like streaming, but that's basically a different type of media. Yes, you can listen to music that they are promoting nowadays. In any case, video is video or video similar, how to say, formats is what they are promoting the most as their strategy moving forward. So they're not going, at least for now, they're not talking about blogs, or they're not talking about other ways of sharing information. The last one that they are talking about here is the is communities, building a community, being able to, for people, creators to tell their stories, for the consumers, the viewers to be able to allow to like, subscribe, comment. All these things is what is building the community, where you as a viewer can talk to me as a creator and tell me, what do you think about this, about my content? Do you like it? You don't? What would you like to see? What would you like not to see? And also like and promote by subscribing, liking, potentially sharing all the content that the creators are creating into other platforms. So basically it's just building a community of like-minded people around the different channels. But anyways, again, the scalability is that this promotes building thousands or millions of communities basically around different channels, different topics. It can be business, it can be finance, it can be traveling, whatever you want to talk about. So now we have talked about all the different values that YouTube is talking about. We have talked about all the different, the most likely strategy that YouTube have. Obviously, we don't have access to their actual strategy, but you can imply it through what they are saying in the website. What are the key things for them to work in? And so now we are going to take a look into what do they say as is their mission, which we saw earlier in the beginning, but let's recap. So what they say is that our mission is to give everyone a voice and show them the world. And from here we can see that how all these values and strategy points that we talked earlier are related to the vision, the mission that they're describing here. So first of all, they said that our mission is to give everybody a voice. On there, they're already talking about video, they're talking about information, they're talking, so video and information, of course, they're covered by voice and expressing something, giving an opportunity. Of course, they are also talking about scalability. They are wanting to give this to everybody. And they are also talking about expression. How do you express yourself? How do you talk with others? And then it's talking about and show them the world. So here it's talking also more related to things like building the community, belonging to a world, whatever world means for you. We all have always a wrong definition of world. Might be that for me it's just doing exercise, or maybe that for me is being very, very deep into business or product topics. But you can see now that this is how YouTube is building their vision. They are just taking all these smaller pieces from their strategy, from their culture or values, and they're just putting all together into one message. Where they try to touch as many points and cover as many of these aspects in the actual vision. So let's summarize now. So what is the benefit of having a vision? Why should you care? Why all these big companies actually care on having a vision? So first of all, the vision is going to give you focus. It's going to, when you define this vision, when you define your strategy, when you can measure ideas against it, you should be able to keep your focus on when you are moving forward in your efforts, that you always focus on delivering the solution that you started to look into, so that you are not deviating in different directions. Second, this is going to actually help your team and also your users understanding what you're trying to achieve. How am I trying to make people's lives better? How am I trying to give them solutions to potential problems that they have? And from the point of view of a user, it's also how is this company maybe aligning to the vision that I have on what I think is important, what are my values as a person, and is this company actually bringing solutions that I'm able to use to deliver or to achieve my vision. It also, from your team point of view, it will actually be able to make that your team is much more committed to you and to the work when they understand what you're trying to achieve. Otherwise, it's going to be yet another work, and then any other work, any other potential offer that comes from moving to another career. What does it matter if I don't care about what the company is actually doing? Of course, another one is that it's going to promote a strong brand. It's a brand that knows what they are doing. It's a brand that knows how to deliver solutions to the customers, that customers actually understand what they're trying to, what this brand is trying to achieve, how it's trying to make my life easier. As well, this will help you clarify your strategy, define what are the important things in order to achieve my vision. How am I going to move forward in the future, and in which directions I want to concentrate in order to get there, to bring this solution that I want for my customers? And what are the problems of not actually having a vision? So first of all is that you might end up chasing any shiny object. So potentially you might be able to start selling to a certain customer group, and although you could sell, then it might take you away completely from your vision, and that's not necessarily what you want to do. You don't have to always chase the money. It's always more important that from your customer point of view, that you stick to your vision, that you know what you are doing. And this is not that I'm saying that money is not important, but bringing value to your users is the most important thing. And when you start going into too many directions, that might dilute the message. Might be that people don't understand what you're trying to achieve and might confuse. Confusion usually leads to lack of commitment. Another problem is that you might end up having a team that feels lost, that doesn't understand what you're trying to do. Your users don't understand what you're trying to do, and they feel that they are disengaged, that why should I stick to this company, for example? And for the customers, they also, there's no customer loyalty when they don't understand what you're trying to achieve, when they understand that you are doing this is what you do computers, but what's the key differentiator? One computer, another computer, they're pretty much the same, so why should I care? You start to potentially be perceived as a commodity, and then there's not a strong feeling of wanting to be your customer. Finally, there is that you might become kind of an old dinosaur. So if you see what we've seen, these big companies are talking about it, so obviously there's value there. So do you want to be on that train or not? And as well, your management team might be perceived as a team that it's actually kind of lacking or lagging behind, that doesn't know how things are done at this point, and that the team doesn't necessarily understand what the management is trying to do if there's no vision communicated to them. So it might be very confusing for a team then to work for a project that they don't understand where is it going or what's the goal of it. So having a vision is a very important thing for a company in order to have an alignment, have a focus, communicating why you are solving a problem to your users. What is it that you are delivering for value for them, and for the users to understand why should they care about what you are doing as a business. If you like this content and if you would like to see more of this kind of videos, please subscribe, like the video. If you have any comments on how to build a vision, if you agree or disagree, please comment below and let us know. See you in the next one.